light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu. Hero.
His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. You said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakura. That is the only person who he could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hero is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death, the trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Investigate. First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got away less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe. Well, there's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
Perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then...
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
hey,
Sorry, I can't answer that. It could obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate, an accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then you only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to do to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. A true blackened? So, just one person?
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you. And the blackened, good luck to all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true then, Kyoko, where are you?
However...
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack.
what?
I'm offended! When did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
You SOB!
Anyway, you there, milksack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milksack?
You gotta be kidding!
Do I gotta be suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what, I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Tako's body aside, I can't imagine in any way she could have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows that I look what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we spot a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then...
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma File 3 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
So,
Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got there, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the research started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Oh ja, warum nicht? Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Doko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office. What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Hey Lou! Hey, danke Lou für Bits! Hehe, der Lou ist da! Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then, right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... Yeah! Huh? Oh, what was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byako and Toko pursued the suspect up on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others that what had happened.
However...
But at that same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies, and after some time Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And then we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However,
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Nee, danke. Das ist sehr, sehr langes Case. Okay, das können die Hammer sein. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could these justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They are all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait! For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? What this hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Discuss. Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office, where he was discovered, to here, the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait, something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that? And why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Aufmerksam, mein Freund. Ich wollte noch das hier angucken. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. But wait! Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a bloodstain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 and his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Und wo ist das überhaupt her? War das Yakuya? Yakuya, do you think Hiro actually did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearance all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died. Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps... I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with that attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Tja, es ist Yakuya, Mann. Was ist? The door that Tina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Tina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies, and the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that's certain someone. Repository door has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are some places I already know, but first the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, then the equipment room where Taka was found. Na dann, los geht's. erst gucken. Habe Kacke gefunden. Ich glaube. Just like that. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
I'm super pissed. I missed such an ultimately rare event. Ach, guck mal, da ist doch so ein Ding. Ach, the stop. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before and just recently too. Ja, Mann, das war doch hier. Ackerlack drauf, Mann. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Where did blood have come from? Here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room blood stain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. And even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just haben wir noch irgendwas? Area. Okay. Dann runter. Wurde doch Celeste attackiert. Und das hier nicht ist. Really attacked with this Justice Hammer once? But what the heck is with this thing? Was meinst du denn? Das ist uninteressant, ja. Wo ist denn die Kacke jetzt? Da. Mann, die ist so versteckt. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, huh? When you disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. Ina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? Could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yakina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in the short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. The carry of someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it was anything less than impossible. The last account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, done. This is Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. A refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally purged. Maybe just a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. For blood transfusions, I guess. It doesn't help me though. I'm not a vampire. That's two. Okay. It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. Too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it's what, some kind of cartoon character on it. Ah, but it's also covered in blood. Oh! Did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. Cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would it need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. The glasses cleaning cloth has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Kameras interessieren mich nicht. Kühlschrank ist super interessant. So, this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I want to thank you for what you did. Not what you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
As a hero's message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. So he said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? Ja, machen wir das doch einfach. Ja, jetzt. Das ist falsch. Spare hotel rooms. Dann Sakura, Kyoko, Mondo, Makoto, Sayaka, Yakuya, Junko, Toko, Celeste, Hiro, Aoi und Sakura, Dion, Tsuhiro. The door is unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Yakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Was finden wir denn hier jetzt? This is Hero's room. there's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? That's what it wants. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and something's made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic and plaster. This Robo Justice, and it's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints, something about them bothers me. Robo Justice blueprints. It's been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Was ist denn sonst hier? Oh, ich bin rausgekommen. I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty drunk here, though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? Ugh, Hiro. Hey, Papst! Hola, hola! Du bist super geil. Danke, Papst. Danke für dein Abonnement. It's a real normal bed. Pretty much it's just like the one in my room. Okay, da ist sonst nichts mehr. Okay. Interessant, man. Ach, Zukunft ist. Ja, komm, wir gehen jetzt hier raus. Ah! Makoto, big news, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can head to the pool on the second floor. Do you think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time? Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Wo sind alle? Kyoko and...
I mean...
You man, I have had the worst day. Huh? Hiro? Wir reden mal mit ihm. Hiro?
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, who else would I be? That's a good question. What? Why do I look like this? Did something come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Okay. Did the Illuminati come along and remodel in my sleep? Okay. I am positive that is the suspicious individual that attacked me. Okay. Apparently that ridiculous object is Hiro. I'd ask Kyoko for the details if I were you. Okay, Kyoko hat ihn also gefunden. There's a big locker near the pool.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jamming into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and walked.